If it wasn't for the Brooklyn Nets and the Los Angeles Lakers, the Golden State Warriors would probably be the most disappointing team in the NBA this season. Coming off a championship run, the Warriors were expected to contend, but right now they're playing like a lottery team. As this video is being recorded, the Warriors have just lost their 5th game in a row and fallen to a 3-7 record, which is the 6th worst record in the league. They look completely different from the team that was holding the Larry O'Brien trophy at the end of last year. Last season, Steph Curry could be ice cold and the Dubs would still win games. This year, Steph can have dominant performances and the Dubs still lose. Overall, he's having an incredible season, averaging 31 points and 7 assists a game, but the Dubs have so many flaws that they're losing in spite of Steph's dominance. We're only 10 games into the season, but with how poorly the Dubs have been playing, it's not an overreaction to be worried, and if the Dubs don't fix their issues soon, it's hard to see them contending in the West. So what's wrong with the Warriors? Let's talk about it. But before we continue, I want to thank Underdog for partnering with MooreHoops. Guys, Underdog is the best place to play fantasy basketball this season. You could draft your own team and it's super convenient because instead of adjusting your lineup every week, there's no waivers, no trades, or in-season management. You draft your team, Underdog gives you your score at the end of each week, and the team with the highest score at the end of the season wins. You could also play Pick'em, where you pick between 2 and 5 players and take the higher or lower on their stats that night, and if your predictions are correct, you can earn some big money. For tonight, I'm going to go higher on Jason Tatum scoring 27 points, RJ Barrett scoring 19 points, and Jalen Brunson scoring 18 points, which is going to make tonight's Knicks-Celtics game way more fun for me. So if you want to get a piece of this action, use the link in the description of this video to download Underdog today and use the promo code MooreHoops to get a 100% match bonus of up to $100. Now on with the video. The first major issue we need to talk about is the piss poor play of Klay Thompson. While Steph is having an MVP level season, the second splash brother Klay Thompson has been awful. Coming into the season, Klay was looking to regain his all-star form, but instead, he's regressed greatly. Through 10 games, Klay is averaging 15 points per game on a putrid 36% shooting from the field and 33% from 3. Klay has really struggled to beat defenders off the dribble, which has limited his attempts in the paint and his trips to the free throw line. As a result, he's taking a lot of tough mid-range pull-ups and they've been bricking, and unfortunately, he's not even making in his open shots. Klay is one of the best shooters in NBA history, and I'm sure the catch and shoot 3-pointers will eventually start knocking down, but it's fair to question if at age 32 and after 2 back-to-back brutal leg injuries, if this is the start of a decline in Klay's career, or if this is just a slow start to the season. Time will eventually tell, but the Dubs need a lot more from Klay if they hope to bounce back from this ugly start. Another player that's been underwhelming this season has been Jordan Poole. After giving Poole a 4-year, $140 million extension, the Warriors are probably hoping that Poole would take a step forward, but instead he's gotten worse. So far, Poole's numbers are down across the board, averaging just 16 points per game on 41% shooting from the field and 31% from 3. He's been absolutely brutal in his last 3 games in particular, where in that stretch he's scoring just 13 points per game on 33% shooting from the field. Poole has had some nights where he has looked like his dominant self, but there's just way too many nights where he simply can't buy a basket. The inconsistent play from Poole, along with the putrid shooting from Klay, is a huge part of the reason the Dubs' offense has been mediocre this year, ranking only 16th in the league in offensive rating. But while the offense is bad, a much bigger concern has been the Warriors' defense. Last year, the Warriors ranked number 2 in defensive rating. So far this season, the Dubs rank 26 in defensive rating. The Dubs have been giving up over 110 points in 9 of the 10 games they played this year, including 130 to the Orlando Magic, who had the worst offensive rating in the league. The Warriors are suffering from a ton of defensive issues. For starters, the point of the attack defense has been horrendous. The Warriors are giving up dribble penetration way too easily to opposing guards. Klay Thompson was once a great defender, but this year he's struggling to keep his man in front of him. But my God, Jordan Poole in particular is an absolute traffic cone on defense where opposing guards are able to easily get by him and get all the way to the rim. Because the Warriors are letting opposing guards in the paint way too easily, they're fouling way too much to stop them. Kevon Looney and Draymond Green are also huge culprits, with Draymond Green averaging a career-high 4 personal fouls per game this season, and Kevon Looney averaging a career-high 3 personal fouls a game. On the season, the Dubs are committing more personal fouls per game than any other team. They also have a rebounding problem. On the season, the Dubs are giving up the 20th most offensive boards, and the constant offensive rebounds that Golden State gives up leads to putbacks and extra possessions for other teams. All in all, the Warriors are a hot mess on defense. Now yes, losing Gary Payne II, a great defender, hurts, but the Dubs defense shouldn't look this bad without him. A lot of the Warriors' problems comes down to effort, and maybe they're suffering from a championship hangover, as teams like the Warriors that have already won the title tend not to take the regular season as seriously. Whatever it is, the Warriors need to improve drastically on the defensive end, and if they don't, there's no hope of them contending for a championship this season. The last issue we'll discuss is the Warriors' poor bench play. The Dubs are getting very little from their second unit. When the Dubs lost many of their veterans in free agency, we knew that their young players would need to step up to fill that void, and so far the Warriors' young core has regressed. Jonathan Kuminga has been really bad in the minutes he's played, and as a result, he's playing even less minutes than he did in his rookie year, and he's earned some DNPs. He's coming off a good 18-point game against the Pelicans, but he's been mostly underwhelming this season and really needs to step it up. James Wiseman has been a complete train wreck. On offense, he's a poor screener and has bad hands, constantly fumbling passes, and on defense, he's a poor rebounder, he's not protecting the rim well, and he's fouling way too much. The Dubs were hoping that Wiseman would take a step forward this year, and sadly he's been a huge negative on the floor, which is why his minutes have also been severely cut. The Warriors' free agency signings of JaMychal Green and Donte DiVincenzo have also failed to bear fruit, with Donte only playing in 3 games this year due to injury, and JaMychal Green shooting the ball poorly and also being underwhelming on defense. Moses Moody has been decent, and Ty Jerome has been surprisingly solid, but overall, the Dubs aren't getting enough from their second unit, which is a major reason why they're losing. So there you have it, Warriors fans. Those are the main reasons the Dubs are underachieving. It's still early, but if the Warriors don't turn it around fast, they could put themselves in a big hole in the standings, which can make it very difficult for them to become a contender. A lot of these problems are tied to effort, but it's clear the Dubs do have some personnel issues after losing much of their veterans from last year. But now I want to hear from you guys. Will the Dubs rebound from this horrid start and compete for a championship? Do you think they need to make a trade? Tell me in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it and hit that subscribe button, and click this video to see the truth about Draymond Green's long-term future with the Warriors.